On June 15, 2023, a 35-foot sloop named the Seaquest drifted into the waters off the coast of Oahu, Hawaii. It didn't call for a pilot. It didn't respond to radio hails. It simply arrived, carried by the North Equatorial Current, exactly 4 days after its estimated arrival time. When the Harbor Patrol finally boarded the vessel, they found the sails neatly furled and the fenders hanging over the side, ready for docking. The interior was spotless. A set of charts was laid out on the table with a pencil marking a position just 150 miles northeast of the islands. But the sailor, a 68-year-old veteran of 3 previous Pacific crossings, was nowhere to be found. He had been gone for 4 days, and in that time, his boat had completed the journey for him, navigating the final leg of a 2,500-mile voyage with a ghost at the helm. This is the terrifying efficiency of modern autopilot systems. Data from manufacturers like Raymarine and B&G shows that modern electronic steering systems can maintain a course within 1 degree of accuracy for weeks at a time, provided there is enough power from solar panels or wind generators. In the case of the Seaquest, the autopilot had functioned perfectly. It had steered the boat through the variable winds of the Pacific, maintaining a steady 5 knots. The sailor had likely fallen overboard while preparing the boat for its arrival in Hawaii, a process known as tidying up for port. Statistics from maritime safety studies indicate that the final 48 hours of a long passage are the most dangerous. The sailor is exhausted. Their cognitive functions are impaired by sleep deprivation, and the proximity to land creates a false sense of security. The 4-day gap is a common theme in Pacific disappearances. In the open ocean, a boat can travel 500 miles in 4 days. If a sailor falls overboard 150 miles from Hawaii, the boat will continue on its course, arriving in the islands while the sailor is left behind in a patch of ocean that is virtually impossible to search. The U.S. Coast Guard uses a software called SAROPS, Search and Rescue Optimal Planning System, to calculate the probability of detection. If a person is in the water for more than 24 hours, the search area expands to thousands of square miles. By the 4th day, the probability of finding a person alive is effectively 0. The boat arrives as a messenger of death, a mechanical witness to a tragedy that occurred hundreds of miles away. When investigators look at these arrival ghost boats, they find a specific set of clues. They find that the man overboard event almost always happens during a period of calm weather. Why? Because in a storm, a sailor is terrified. They are wearing a harness, they are clipped to a jackline, and they are staying in the cockpit. But on a perfect day, the kind of day every sailor dreams of, the harness comes off. The sailor feels the warmth of the sun and the gentle motion of the boat, and they forget that the ocean is 15,000 feet deep and doesn't have a bottom. They step out onto the deck to adjust a line. They slip on a patch of wet fiberglass, and in 2 seconds, the boat is gone. The autopilot doesn't know the owner is in the water. It doesn't hear the screams. It simply continues its mission to reach Hawaii. The data on solo sailor survival is brutal. A study of 200 solo ocean passages found that the risk of death is 4 times higher than for crewed vessels, not because of the weather, but because of the single point of failure problem. On a crewed boat, if you fall overboard, someone hits the MOB button on the GPS and throws a life ring. On a solo boat, if you fall overboard, you are a spectator to your own demise. You watch your home sail away at 6 knots. You watch the sunset, and then you watch the sunrise, and then you realize that the boat you spent your life savings on is now your executioner. The Seaquest arrived in Hawaii with its lights on and its batteries full, a perfect vessel that had outlived its master by exactly 96 hours. Inside the cabin of such boats, the evidence of the sailor's final hours is often heartbreakingly mundane. Investigators find to-do lists for when they reach Hawaii. Buy fresh milk, call the wife, fix the leaking head. They find a half-read book with a bookmark in place. They find that the sailor had already cleared the dinner dishes. Everything suggests a person who expected to be alive tomorrow. There is no last will and testament. No final goodbye. This is because the ocean doesn't give you time to say goodbye. It is a binary environment. You are either on the boat or you are in the water. There is no middle ground. The real answer to why these boats arrive alone is a combination of technology and human psychology. We have built machines that are too good at what they do. We have created autopilots that can sail better than a human, and we have developed a culture of solo heroism that ignores the biological reality of our own fragility. The Pacific is a place of infinite beauty, but it is also a place of infinite indifference. It doesn't care if you are an experienced sailor or a beginner. It only cares about the laws of physics. If your mass is no longer connected to the mass of the boat will continue its journey according to the settings on its computer. Every year, dozens of boats arrive in ports across the Pacific, Hawaii, Tahiti, Fiji, Australia, with no one on board. They are the unmanned arrivals, and they are a growing problem for maritime authorities. Each one represents a search that was never started, a rescue that was never possible, and a family that will never have closure. The boat arrived in Hawaii on schedule, but the sailor was gone. He had been gone for 4 days, and the ocean had already begun the process of turning him into a memory, while his boat sat in the marina, waiting for a hand that would never return to the wheel. This is the dark side of the dream of sailing the Pacific, a dream that can so easily turn into a mechanical ghost story.